Studies show that men think about beating up on other dudes about 28 times daily. Thinking about it scientifically, this adds up to my everyday life. The situation of walking down the sidewalk when suddenly another dude starts walking down the same sidewalk in a conflicting fashion always has me thinking, shit, this dude's gotta be about 5'10" and 180 pounds from triangulating him from the distance of 20 meters away. But that's exactly 2 inches shorter than me. As he approaches, I'll quickly jab with my 2 extra inches of reach, immediately debilitating him on the ground. I'll kick his head to knock him unconscious, take his wallet, and walk away in a nonchalant fashion as if nothing happened. Then in reality, to just casually walk past the guy and do nothing as if this isn't how 100% of my human interactions in life have gone so far. It's like that same shit when a car drives past you at night and you imagine they're about to shoot you for no reason. It's natural instincts of violence. And an instinct of violence surely was the thing that befell my little friend group in the 7th grade. That's right, I got jumped when I was 12. It was a Friday afternoon and school had finally let off, and I was itching to let out my animal this weekend, so I hit up the boys. Except that I was 12 and I had the goddamn SpongeBob horn phone, so I needed my mom to text their moms and do all that slop. Soon enough though, the moms pulled through, and I had 2 very classic buddies headed over to my house so I could let out my animal. My doorbell rings, I pitter-patter over and swing that shit open. Roman's standing right there with a suitcase. Bro really came prepared for any possible situation. I mean, damn, a suitcase? But we start messing around on YouTube.com a little bit because this second individual is taking a little longer to show up to my abode. His late arrival will actually domino effect into his downfall because as me and Roman browse, we come across a very funny boy yelling about Sonic, and we want to show our other friends so badly. But in no time, my door rings, we pitter-patter over to the door, swing that shit open, and standing there is none other than this little shit named Alex. Alex was a fucked up kid. He would bring boxes of Mountain Dew into class and down them as if he isn't drinking fucking Mountain Dew. If vapes were around when I was 12, he would most definitely be chiefing those johns like nobody's business. So this evil child arrives at my house, and instantly me and Roman are like, you gotta see this kid on YouTube, man. He's so funny. We watch a few videos, have a few laughs, until Alex gets a massive, sinister grin on his face and says, guys, I want to film a prank video. Which is never what you want to hear from Alex, but we didn't have enough wisdom to know that at the time. Alex specifically wanted to film a Sonic prank at the park gone wrong. And to a 12-year-old, that sounds like the most hype idea on the planet. I also just so happened to have a Sonic plush backpack in my garage as well. So we found the backpack, put it on Alex, and headed over to the park. As we got to the park, we had full view of an empty playground, empty swings, but we had perfect sight of our victims with 5 kids sitting on a park bench all together. So Alex takes out his iPhone to record the audio and voice memos, while Roman records the interaction on his Motorola. We honestly had no idea what Alex was about to do for his Sonic park at the prank gone wrong, but setting up the prank already had us laughing. So Alex actually starts to walk over to these kids, and as he approaches them, they all lock eyesight on him like hawks. Then Alex starts screaming the same nonsense the Sonic kid on YouTube said, like, you guys ruined the Sonic franchise! And the guys on the bench just look at each other like, the fuck is this kid talking about? So Alex keeps going on about this Sonic bit, and me and Roman are watching in awe. We cannot believe that he's actually seeing this through. A possible detail we may have forgot about pranks is that the camera is usually hidden and not 15 feet away in an open field. And I can't speak for this group of 5 children at the park, but I can assume an encounter with a screaming Sonic kid and 2 other kids recording from a distance may have been perceived as a disaster level threat to them. So these kids are like, fuck off you damn nerds, but Alex holds his ground and keeps yapping, saying that was like their peace agreement, and since it was declined by Alex, they turned to violence. They sent out their smallest of the 5 to approach Alex like a little henchman being tasked to do dirty bidding. This kid jumps down from the park bench and a boss health bar appears as he runs to Alex, but Alex stood his ground once again. He said, nah, I'd win. Then almost immediately gets picked up by this kid and thrown onto the ground like boom. He's holding down Alex on the ground and bludgeoning his head repeatedly like, damn, was the Sonic kid really that much of a threat, dude? I had never experienced conflict in my life yet, so I hadn't truly realized he was experiencing blunt damage to his head, so I still watched in awe like Big Mouth Patrick. But at this point, Alex is completely out of character. He drops the prank entirely and starts fighting for his life. Now we let a respectful 1v1 play out for a minute, argument in this park without interference. But it didn't take long for us to realize that this fight is not fair. Roman runs in and pulls this kid off at Alex because he's got that dog in him while I'm still watching from a distance. Until one of the kid's buddies starts walking over like, bro, don't interfere, bro. But then, bam, Roman hits him with a cheeky blow because Roman's got that dog with the Latino blood in his veins. All the while, bro is still committing to filming the prank. Roman has been holding the phone this whole time. So that kid backs off, we retrieve the battle-scarred Alex, and we're like, we gotta get out of here, guys. This shit got real. Alex can't hardly walk, so we gotta help him home while these kids are yelling at us like, you deserved that! Bug off! That's why you're the strongest, little bro! While we take the walk of shame home. But this altercation wasn't over. We couldn't end on a loss. As we got home, we laid down the punished Alex in bed to revive his strength. In Fortnite terms, we brought his reboot card to the reboot van. The three of us were experiencing complete rock bottom mentally and had to make moves to heal. Except for Alex, because he couldn't move. And what better way to get back at bullies than firearms? So Roman and I scoured the garage for our most powerful Nerf guns and made the walk back. I don't know why the fuck we did Nerf guns because the bullets don't even hurt, but we make the journey back to the park strapped like a couple of honest working red-blooded blue-collar Americans. As we pull up, we start shooting this group of kids and it inflicts no damage to them and only causes the group to all charge at us. But what I didn't mention is that the Nerf guns were only a diversion to lure in the kids as we threw our secret carton of eggs at them. After a few failed eggs, we eventually hit one of the kids and he starts running away. Two more of them realized we had those shits on us and decided to turn around with the other kid, leaving only two more kids approaching us. These little boys were sprinting to beat up on us and rapidly started to approach, so I decided to fall back, but Roman held his ground. I was like, you need to fall back, but Roman didn't listen because as the kids got right up to him, he flipped the Nerf gun around and hit one of them over the head with the goddamn handle of the shit. Like, damn, that kid got concussed, bro. Of course the other one retreated after that, and the two of us returned quickly home from war. We reported back to our fallen soldier and relayed the intel of our successful reconnaissance mission. And although through all the violence of that interaction, the most painful part of this day is that Roman started seriously stressing about hitting these kids on camera. I wanted him to upload the video so badly, but he decided to delete the prank we recorded because he didn't want his mom to find out what he did to these youngins. Since that whole event happened to me at the park, I was too afraid to go back there as a kid. I didn't want to one-man the park and end up with 5 little boys ending my life and stomping on my head and my vision becoming black for pranking them about Sonic. I guess the life lesson here is that if you give into your animalistic urges of violence, don't record them for an awesome YouTube prank, because there's a chance your mom might fuck, you know what, I'm just gonna use that take.